doing good on beer. I'm just trying to get this, you know, when I'm having trouble with it, and I really haven't wedged it, you know, taking that much time to wedge it and so forth, I'll go a little slower, and that sort of works better. Instead of kind of tossing it up. One thing with throwing slower, that is moving slower, is it's not fast enough to react with your mind, you know? Like your mind is ahead of what's happening so much. You're not kind of in tune with it. And when you tend to go slower, like right now, you know, I'm kind of trying to figure out, you know, is it going to pull off the wheel head or not, you know? When it has nothing to do with, you know, making the damn pot, see?
You ever thrown upside down?
Oh yeah.
How's that work?
You mean from a wheel upside down?
Yeah, where you throw
Oh no, I never. Never. I left that up to what's the name there? You know,
Yeah.
it was super slick. Yeah, deal with that.
Super slick deal.
So I use my knuckle when I start, you know, to get it going up. Then I have to switch to my fingertip, you know, because I really don't have those sensitive nerve endings in my knuckles, you know. They're in my fingertips. And I can feel what's happening, you know, to the section, you know. And I try to feel my fingers, you know, through the clay, see. Now my picture here, you know, that form. So when I'm pre-planning it in terms of that, I'll use a collar sort of on top. I like that sort of collar on top of that picture form, you know. So I leave clay up here, see? I'll just leave this up here, a little thicker, so I can deal with that a little later on, see? So I begin now, you know, sort of programming that form. See? I'll keep that a little bit smaller up here. And I don't know what kind. I think I would like it to be. I don't know if it will be. I like it to be kind of bulbous, you know. We'll just see. Leave that little ring there for a minute. I can figure out what to do with it later on, you know. But this sort of collar, you know, it kind of gives me a place to start, stop handles, accent with glaze, you know, stuff like that. See? See what I got down here. When I'm throwing in smaller pieces, you know, I'll take them, you know, throw them finished on the wheel head so that I can see them, you know, cut this skirt of clay away. So oftentimes when you're working and, you know, you're working with this skirt of clay in your mind, you know, it's got nothing to do with the rest of the form, so cut it off and get it out of there. You know, it's like when you're decorating or doing work on a let's say, on a wheel, you know what they call it, decorating wheel. How good that works out. On a decorating wheel, you know. Well, you're working with this pedestal also in mind, you know. And so that when you take it off this pedestal, you say, Jesus, it looked a lot better sitting up on that wheel. That's why you should get off your wheel and look at the form before you make your final decision, you know, because you're looking at it from this vantage point. You're not really seeing what's there, see? So now I have this somewhat where it ought to be. I just have to, I'll try to say what I'm trying to do. I have to make it feel as if it's willing to accept some volume, you know? Now it's very, very surface right now, see? Very hard, it's like a kind of a hollowed rock, which hasn't got anything to do with what I have to do with placing. So I have to deal with that. And now I'll go back in with my rib. See if I can't, you know, fix that up a little bit. Gentle big fella. I can't, it's funny though, when he's smaller part, I can't do that finishing. I was standing up, you know, like I have, especially this morning. I guess I just have no relation to what's happening when I'm standing up, you know. And so what I have to now, so the thing doesn't fall down, I got to get this arch here kind of going a little better. See, it's a little bit tough right now. So I want to work on this up here, but I'm going to straighten this out here. So I start from the top, you know, and kind of go down, see. So if I can start from the bottom and go up, the top's going to cave in. I just want to clarify that curve. Give me a little more jug feeling, you know. Loosen that up a little bit so it's not so hard, you know. Now, I suppose I should have dealt with this early. All right. I got to somehow make this thing pull together visually, see. I have it thin enough down here, plenty thin enough down here. But I want to, it's too hard up in here, so I'm going to go with my handle here. Figure out what's happening. Thin that. I'm thinning that rim a little more because I'm going to pull a spout there, see? So I want to thin that, but I also want to take that hard knife edge off of it so when I pull a spout it doesn't split, you know? You have sort of a rounded edge but tapered, then it's easier to pull and it won't split on you so much. It really says, look. Now let's see if I can, I have to get this transition between the collar and this body a little more gentle, you know, more gentle transition, so. I want it to retain its identity, however, you know. I don't want to deny it. Maybe it just needs to be a little more full here. Yeah, right. It's a little more like a jug now, doesn't it? Yeah, that's better. See a nice skin in it, huh? Skinny skin? I like that. It's more jug yet. Loosen that up, see? Take that a little out of round now. It's not so damn tight here, okay? See? Take that off that round. Now I'll come here now and I'll loosen this up, see? Not that you'll see it. I'm not trying to alter the form, you know. I'm just loosening it up. It's not so damn tight. to cut these pieces so they do try to lift themselves up, you know. Now, pull a spout. And what I'm trying to do with that spout is give it a channel of direction and purpose for a reason for the fluid to flow out of it, you know. Reason for the spout. It's a channeling device. The spout says, here's where I want you to flow out of, you know. That's the idea of it, you know. I hate little bent things, you know, where it's sort of, hey, you know, whatever, you know. And I like this to, you know, retain its identity. It's another unit, you know, with the pitch form. So I pull it, and I don't know why I do that. You know, I'm conscious of that. And damn it, up place. He says, "Why do you do that?" I said, "Why do what? Why do you do that?" I don't know why I do that. I do that. Now every time I do that, I think, why do I do that? Why I do that? You know? I just do that. I don't know. But I pull it this way because it's the way I learned to pull spout. See, I get down like that, and my you know, this outside hand holds the clay in shape, you know, and the inside finger's in here, and I slide up together. See. Then when this gets to the rim, I stop the outside hand, and this one comes up, and it doesn't bend out, it taps it out, because my clay's really quite short with all the grog, you know. So I tap the clay out, tap, 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 tap. And that way you can stretch clay if you tap it, you know. You just try to bend it, it starts breaking, see. So which it probably will now when I tap, 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 it'll probably break. So we can go, you know. And I'm trying to, I was doing this on Finland, right? And I'm going to pull the spout. So Bill Brown says, "What the hell are you looking for? The right place to put the spout." You know, I'm turning it around. It's a circle, right? Does the hell make a difference where you pull it? Well, it does, Bill. You know. What's that here? This will make a difference here. See? Okay. Okay. Cycle down here. Pull this, and I watch what happens here. See, as I'm pulling it, it's important to me that that shape that I'm creating is better than the shape that was there before. See, or else I just lost it. You know what I mean? So it's starting to get kind of a spout here, see? Well, I'll try to give it a little more quality here, a little more deep throat there, if you use the expression of that here. We'll just a little goiter action in there, see? Up here, clear that out. Add a little more character, see? Yeah, hey guy, you know what I mean? And make this fill out here. I don't care if they drip or not, actually. They kind of don't, you know. Like you can pour out of this end and make it not drip, you know what I mean? I was going through this whole dialogue one time about this deep throat, you know, and so forth, and I said, well, you put a deep throat in there, see, and you cut it back, the edge of the lip will cut off the fluid and the throat will suck it back in. I can't get myself in deep. That's there, but when they're all together, you know, they're all sitting around you in your studio, you get all these people sitting there, you know, some of you know, some skinny people, and they're all around. It's really enjoyable, you know. I used to work in series of 9s. I don't know why, you know, 10s or 8s, but 9. About the 9th one, I suppose about the 7th one, I worked myself through them. And I'm really going on to the next idea, but it takes me another 1 or 2 to say quit until I get to the other idea, you know. So about the 6th one's pretty good. Do you know what I mean?